All right, hello everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Rico Fresh Jr. Wanted to pull out and come to Fort to y'all to let y'all know, represent over the Sugarland 95 Museum and Culture Center, um, which is located in Sugarland, Houston, Texas. Wanted to see if y'all would love to get with the preserve and also the important of this matter. Want y'all to see that in Texas history and how touching and how creative and how it changed the history of Texas and how it changed the history of slavery after slavery. Um, Creating this is a permanent place for education, remembrance, and community impact. This is more than a building. It's an opportunity to transform the overlooked history into the lasting public value. Um, so kind of like got into how everything is supposed to get financially what I need to uplift and lead this gift so I could, persevere and push forward and ever forward for the community of Sugarland or the community of Houston, even the community of this United States of America, because this is US history, this is Black history. So in that area, it shows a lot of depth of what's going on and back in our time. There's a lot of ways we have never showed or never showed this history. There's a lot of history that people don't know, especially about their own history. Um, a lot of people don't know about Sugarland 95. This was very recent history as well, that it was that it has 95 bodies have been located in the Sugarland area on a plantation from years ago. Um, Wanted to show how I could work towards to gravitate to invest into, building on to the community or showing the light in the community. Um, there's ways as of like the Juneteenth Museum could be made in Galveston, Texas, or the Sugarland 95 could be made in Sugarland, Texas. Those are two different big outcomes that could bring and gravitate others. Um, what I kind of got from this, we could, a saying that I got was, we do not just build a museum, we build understanding. We do not just remember history, we shape tomorrow. So what I got from that is just like forever to be remembered and never forgotten. These are always things that we have need to be in our, lives. We don't really go in towards history. We always talk about Texas history. We always when we in high school or middle school or whatnot, Texas history when I'm in Texas, but we never talk about Sugarland 95. We never talk about um when Juneteenth was and how did we go about that in Galveston, Texas. Um we never talked about a lot of those touching subjects. Um you might talk about American Mexican and Texas American hit war or whatnot, but we never got into the aspect of black excellence or what happened back in our time frame. So I'm wanting to come to you or come to someone that could help benefit the actual community, not even just the community, but the world. everybody can know about this. This is something that was just recently found out, but this is something that's tragically happened over time, and we just need to build that up and try to find a way to like get to that stage where we could everybody could listen and learn more about it, go to studies and learn about everything. This I feel like this would impact a lot in the community, from people to be knowledge about their own their own abilities and what they have been through and how we could work together and be ever forward. um feel like there's a lot of opportunities in this, and a lot of opportunities to build up the Sugarland community or Houston community. I feel like this would, you know, bring forth effort to like really show light for the community that would could gravitate a lot of people to come down, tourists, historians, anybody would love to come see this site, especially for scholars and who's like going to bring for future generations. What is this is a very, very, very touching subject, but this is also something that could provide for the community, that could drive the community, that can bring a lot of people to tour and learn a lot about this subject. And so I wanted to get in couple things on my renderings that I have. So, I think what the architecture of this project is intentionally to be bold, respectful, and very modern at the same time, and kind of show a little bit of the the old black arts of it. So the material log, the everything towards the material or whatnot, this is what can show like the gravitation of African American his heritage. You so I kind of wanted to get into how the visitors would enter, not as the museum, not just a museum, but like a place that can gravitate and honor truth and stories, and preserve that that can bring and gravitate everybody for future generations. Um, so I kind of wanted to also be, a good place to serve as a student, families, and then researchers, tourists, or whatnot. So I kind of wanted to get into the first one, which was the exhibit gallery, obviously, which we have a couple of them. I made a floor plan as well. We made a couple of exhibit spaces where it could show a lot of photos, a lot of gallery, multimedia experiences that people have heard about it, or just gravitating all the news and all the newspaper that we have gotten, even old books that have been in around that time, history about that plantation that was there at that time. um a lot of different statues and memorials that were being held in this exhibit. um Also kind of wanted to get into like the education learning center, which is going to be more towards the researchers, the historians, the students. You can be hold camps or whatnot to like learn more about your history, or learn more about the Sugarland 95 history. It doesn't necessarily have to be Sugarland 95. It could be all history, especially African American history. Um, like back home, there's this museum in Austin, Texas called the George Washington Carver Museum. It's not just about George Washington Carver, it's about all history of Black excellence. So that kind of gravitates the pull of everybody and everything that's surrounding. Um, Kind of wanted to have workshops that can be there, just trying to engage the community to be with each other to learn about this um event or any other events that transpire, could be held camps or whatnot that would be here. Um, any type of classes to even learn about the history could be here. Um, Another thing I didn't touch base on was I think in this museum, I think we could get 30K visitors annually, 8,000 students served, 50 plus public programs annually. And then I was thinking regionally tourist growth. And then I think a lot of jobs will be created with this. Um, Being said, there will have to be a pool of finances. And also, I didn't touch base on how much this will be. This would be a $24 million long-term sustainable planning on this construction work for this project. Our lead gift for opportunity is $6 million. So additionally, naming those opportunities, I kind of want to make it available that this can be a great opportunity for storytelling, a great opportunity to uplift you being a leader into the community. As Sugarland 95, there has not been anybody that showed the leadership to make it known within the Houston community about Sugarland 95. It has been different organizations, different here and there organizations that show Sugarland 95, but it hasn't been someone who promoted this incident or promoted it for it to socially go around that everybody knows and everybody hears about. And it's in the this education. Sixth graders will know about Sugarland 95. Fifth graders will know about Sugarland 95. But no, I never heard about this until I went to college and someone told me about this. So this is something that's hasn't been talked about. Also, I never knew what Juneteenth where it was located at. Where did we stop having was to not be enslaved anymore, which was in Galveston, Texas. I did not know that. I didn't know full history on Juneteenth. I know Juneteenth was we as African Americans, we have been freed from slavery, but I haven't got into details about that. I didn't know it started in Galveston, Texas. So there's a lot of things in this area that hasn't been said or hasn't been talked about. Um, Also wanted to touch base on this memorial reflection space. It's like a quiet space that kind of show memorial, like shows stories, shows all emotions into this area. It's an area of healing, remembrance, honoring those who came before us and those who has those stories to remember, to be remembered by. And it's always, and then in this space, it's acoustic barriers with terrazzo showing the art of it, perforated terrazzo. So it is going to be more like of a hearing aspect. You can push buttons to see what the story is about, and they'll give you dialogue, and it will tell you everything about what's going on within this realm. What happened back in Sugarland 95, what happened in years ago. Um And then I also want to get with y'all about this. More renders. So I have the community hall. So the community hall is more of like a performance, partnerships, and civic events, like some events that can gravitate everybody to do lectures, performance, um, art and music events, anything that shows gravitational pull with the community and with the excellence of African American history. Um, it just brings a lot of attention to having multiple people that will come to this center. There's other That's why I added a bunch of different aspects that could gravitate people to want to go to this museum and want to learn. It's a lot of eye candy. As you can see, it will show a lot of different aspects and a lot of, if you very artistic and like the type of material or color, this will bring that pattern and show that what gravitates, people to want to go to this museum, this culture center. Also, I wanted to go into the research library. So the research library is more on the, okay, archives. It kind of shows histories, documentation, and scholarships that are preserved for future generations. It kind of shows everything to research and educate everybody with not just Sugarland 95, but all aspects of excellence from the African American history. Like I said, back home, George Washington Carver, they have a library as well. So that's something that also transpires there as well. They have a lot of art and a lot of things or documentations or newspaper articles or books that show and tell stories about all that happened past before us, not just George Washington Carver, not just, well, for this case, Sugarland 95, all aspects of African American excellence. And then I want to touch base on the Youth Discovery Center, which is the biggest aspect right now that I'm putting my hands on as of right now. And I kind of been talking about. We want to educate not just the historians, the researchers. How we start from there is how we start from ground zero. And ground zero is when you're younger. So we want to build the community to learn and want to know about what's going on in history lessons. Um, Being active within history lessons. There's a lot of activities that can happen here in this Discovery Center for the youth. It's a lot of interactive learning environment that helps young people engage in history that's meaningful ways. It kind of builds onto showing that empathy aspect, um, and wanted to explore history or explore their own history, because nowadays people have not don't know their history. In the 21st century, a lot of people do not know their history and don't know how to persevere and work togetherness as African American um, history, as African American minorities. We don't know how to work together. This is a way where we can feel empathy, and as a, like, okay, in history, they were actually bonded together and actually working for what was right and what was wrong, going against that, wanted to actually persevere and actually move forward and actually work together to get to the spot that they wanted to get to. But nowadays we feel like we're entitled and not knowing what has happened in our history. and what our ancestors fought for. And we have not worked together as a community to build that. And this is a way to inspire that and actually work together for future generations to come to persevere and actually move forward for that. And also, here is my floor plan. I kind of got it. I kind of worked with it also with one of my projects I'm doing right now in architecture. My design 10 class. Want to kind of work from that because I'm also doing a black art music museum. So I kind of worked with my floor plan a little bit. So with this floor plan, I want to inspire the functionality of how this could work. Um, so obviously you see the grand lobby, you go into the grand lobby. We have multiple exhibits and galleries. You have classrooms, we have community gathering rooms, and we have archive rooms. Um, and then also have multi-purpose event spaces. And then we also have a lot of outdoor memorial courtyard, which would kind of show a lot of aspects of different things. I haven't gotten to the site plan, but it will show a lot of people wanting to gather in as the outdoor activity spaces. Could be vendors that can be outside. It could be a lot of whole different festival that will be outside. Um, that would functionality with this museum. Um, Also for the donors, um, that want to help out and want to give back to the community, um, that want to have this rare opportunity. Many give support this temporary programs. This gift supports a permanent institution. So I think what a donor would create is remembrance, education, civic leadership, community healing, and lasting legacy. This will build an ever forward for people to remember for generations. Um, it's a lot of things that are a lot of ways to uplift this community to actually learn about the remembrance of Sugarland 95, but also learn the remembrance of people who came before us. This could show a lot of intel or a lot of ways to build leaders, Black educated leaders, minority leaders, um, just working forward. So people in the community, something to look forward to, something to actually want to talk about. And then in Houston area, there's not that many Black or African American museums, not too much that you know of. So with this museum, it shows a lot of different ways to gravitate people to want to go. I think this will be a national museum that could actually like work towards and build towards a great national museum. Um, Almost to the point where it could be the African American museum that's in Washington D.C. It has the material, it has the aspects to actually be that type of museum. Um, as of Texas, we don't have that many museums that's that's showing a lot of different ways to learn. It's not a lot of museums of African American history that shows a lot of ways to learn and actually grow interest in it and build your interest in it and to apply it into your daily lives. Um, it just shows a lot that we just need to kind of move forward to. And I just feel like the donor would bring that and gravitate me or gravitate the whole world or United States of America at least to want to ever forward to build on Black power, um, also to be educated because in these schools we don't talk a lot about African American history. In my generation, that is not usually talked about, unless your parents talk about it. If your parents don't talk about it, then it's never talked about. So, I mean, this is something that could bring, you know, people to want to come. And the question is not whether this history deserves to be remembered. It does. But the real question is whether we are willing to invest to remembering it properly. The Sugarland 95 Museum and Culture Center offers that opportunity. And I think it will be a blessing that you can give that opportunity to the community of Black's excellence. Thank you. I appreciate it.